good night. It is February 2, 2026, and it's a Monday night. Evening. It's currently negative 8 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun this morning rose at 7:07 a.m., like Roland's legendary drum machine, 7:07, and it set at 4:56 p.m. That's 9 hours and 49 minutes of sunlight. The days are getting longer, and we're almost at a post 5 p.m. sunset. I'm quite excited for this. It was actually pretty nice over the past few days to be just inching closer and closer to the sun, not setting before 5 p.m. Just something to look forward to in life. These dark times, both literally and figuratively. Today, I got a lot of stuff done. Yesterday, I vowed to not let my anxiety control me. So I got a lot of stuff done. Although I did not have the stomach to do the janitorial work that I have to get done before Wednesday. Although I did walk all the way down because I sort of like how some people will, and I actually knew a guy who did this when I lived in Victoria. I knew a guy who was addicted to heroin. And at one point, it's actually really frightening. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just going from subject to subject. But I actually saw him, like, very quickly go from doing pills to just, like, full-blown, like, heroin addiction. It was quite frightening. He was more of closer friends with my another friend of mine, but he was a good guy. And anyway, at one point, he asked his heroin dealer to front him heroin, knowing full well they wouldn't have money to pay him back, as a way to like stop doing heroin. It's really fascinating what schemes the brain can produce when in the throes of addiction. So anyway, sort of like that, I told myself on Saturday when I was doing janitorial work, like, I'm not gonna bring the recycling bin to the curb, because then that'll force me to go and do janitorial work on Sunday, because I had to get it to the curb before Monday morning. But then it was Sunday night yesterday, and I decided to not go out because my anxiety did sort of get some, it didn't totally control me, but it had a very strong influence. And so I actually walked all the way downtown and all the way back just to put the recycling bin to the curb. But it was like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this at 8 o'clock at night. I could have, but also the excuse that I had was like, but then I'm going to start drinking late and then go to bed late, because of course I have to drink, right? So another thing that the brain does when in the throes of addiction is of course logically I have to prioritize the substance before everything else. So today I woke up early in the morning. Well, early, not that early, but I woke up around like 9 o'clock or something to go to take a piss. And then I just started doom scrolling. And I was about to go back to sleep, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to go back to sleep. I'm just going to get up. So I'm getting up, around like 1 p.m. usually. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to go back to sleep. And then I got myself out of bed. And I sent some invoices out. I handled some like tax stuff for this company that I worked for once last summer. I what did I get done? I took a shower. I went to the grocery store. I got a bunch of stuff done. I started I want to do this thing where like that I started with a friend of mine a couple nights ago, which is really fun. I want to control his video mixer with incoming audio and using the like pitch and amplitude. So we messed around with that and got it to work in Max, but I want to like make it better and clean it up and create an interface to just like, I don't know, just generalize everything. So I did a little bit of that, but not much. Actually, just like set it up to make sure the audio works, and I haven't really gone beyond that. But later tonight, I'm gonna make myself some food and play with my synthesizer. I went to the grocery store earlier because I'm like, it's still day out. It's not cold. I mean, it's objectively cold, but it's less cold than it's going to be tonight. I'll tell you later. It's going to get colder tonight. And I was just like, man, like going to the grocery store, I just find it so stressful. And it's really difficult for me to like get myself out the door to go to the grocery store. And I was thinking about friction when I was leaving, because a few years ago I listened to an episode of the podcast Hidden Brain, which is a great podcast, by the way. And I forgot her name, but the guest was a psychologist who studied habits. And she was talking about her research on habits, and there's something really struck me. She was talking about how intuitively we think that what will cause a person to change a habit, like form a new habit or break an existing habit, which I guess is the same as like forming a habit for new behavior. We intuitively think that it comes down to willpower, and that it's just a question of having a sufficient amount of willpower to be rigorous in like repeating this new behavior, and then you're gonna get a new habit. But according to her research, that is not the case. According to her research, the most like effective way of changing a habit, of forming a habit, is to remove as much friction as possible between the old and the new behavior. And so, for example, the example that she provided, she's like, it might sound sort of dumb, but I want to run in the morning. I'm busy. I've got a family. I've got kids. I've got a full-time job. And the only time that I have is early in the morning. So what I started doing is I started taking a shower at night and just sleeping in my running clothes. And she's like, that might sound, I don't know if she used the word dumb, but it might sound silly, but that is like if I can just wake up and put my shoes on and get out the door, then it's going to be the easiest possible path between like what I'm used to doing and this new behavior. And so I started like thinking, like, because I was at the grocery store and it wasn't super busy, but this grocery store is always busy in the afternoon. And I guess around like maybe like 3:30 or something like that. But they were already out of I wanted to buy a 10-pound bag of russet potatoes that was on sale. They're already out of it, and often when I go, it takes me a long time to get motivated to go out, and so I get there later on during the day, so it's busier, and a lot of the items aren't there. That's sort of like the deal that you have to make when you go to this particular chain of grocery stores, is that it's the cheapest, but often they just run out of stuff. So I ended up having to buy a different type of potatoes, which is like pretty much the least, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm just thinking in French. It's like pretty insignificant, globally speaking, that I have a different type of potatoes. But I was thinking about this. Here's my point. I was thinking about this video by Honey Bunches of Onion Tops, just a YouTuber. whose videos I watched recently. Watched a few videos. And this video was recommended to me, and it was called, like, I actually have it here, How to Meal Plan Plus Feed Yourself. And it's, like, for people with, like, anyway, just, like, neurodivergent people or people with, like, chronic illnesses and stuff. And I really liked their video. And, for example, one thing they were saying was, like, how they would go to grocery stores who have, like, a particular, because, like, they're, like, autistic, have ADHD, and some other illness that isn't specified. And yeah, they would go to like grocery stores that have like specific quiet hours, or if that's not possible, go to grocery stores that are farther away but that they know are less busy. I started thinking about this. Like, I have a lot of difficulty feeding myself in general, and I'm like, I do a lot of like, I'm just gonna grin and bear it sort of in life, and I'm just realizing how difficult I'm making life for myself. And so I was just thinking about how, like, there are a lot of things that I could do to, like, make this process easier. Because if I don't eat, I can't function. So I'm, like, trying to function as an adult, but I'm, like, not eating enough food to do it. But that's just because I find it particularly difficult to, this whole process of acquiring food and then cooking it and then, like, organizing time to eat, I just don't like it. And I find it difficult. And so yeah, I think I'm going to start going to the grocery store earlier. That would be the best way to do it. Because I don't have a car, so I can't go to another grocery store. Well, there's one across the street, but it's way more expensive. That would be a good thing to do. So I'll give updates on that. I think that would help me to then be more motivated to cook if I can really plan out my meals and then go early enough in the day or the week where I know that I can get these ingredients that often I look at that are on sale but are often not there anymore. Today I'm thinking about the band Simply Saucer, who I'd never heard of until yesterday. I was looking up stuff about the Necessaries, a band that featured, among other great musicians, Arthur Russell, who's one of my favorite musicians. And I'd totally forgotten about this band because I listened to their debut once and I'm like, this is really good, but I don't know, I just didn't listen to it again. And then recently, their entire discography has been reissued. They only had like one studio album out, and it doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about them. They're really good. Check them out, the Necessaries. But one of the members was in the Modern Lovers. Then I started reading up again on the Modern Lovers, legendary Jonathan Richman band. And then I clicked on the page for proto-punk. So I'm like, yeah. It's like, there's a lot of the bands that I haven't listened to that much. So like MC5. I've listened to Stooges. I really like the Stooges. And then there's like other stuff like... what was it? Was it like the Mummies? Like dressed up like mummies? Anyway, and I saw this on the page, Simply Saucer from Hamilton, Ontario. And I listened to their album, which is a compilation called, what the hell is it called? Cyborgs Revisited, which is an amazing name. And it's so good. This album is so good. I was blown away. It's very weird, and it's from like the early 70s. I think they formed it in 1973, and then they're initially only around for a couple of years. And then this wasn't released until the 80s. I think like late 80s, like 88 or 89 or something like that. I guess I could just look it up, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's this sort of loose, sometimes like really intense, but also like other times like really catchy, psychedelic garage rock with synthesizers. I don't know. And the lyrics are really, really good too. Like, and sometimes like strangely prescient, at least for like now. Like the song "Instant Pleasure" is the opening track, Nazi Apocalypse, feels very, very timely. But the song Bulletproof Nothing is the one I want to talk about today. The lyrics are just about how, like, the lead singer, who actually, like, ran for, like, office in 1999 in Canada, with, like, for this, like, really shitty, like, populist right-wing party, which I thought was disappointing. It's like, you can make, like, totally, like, radical, avant-garde music and, like, really be ahead of your time, like, creatively, and still be, like, way fucking stuck in the past, politically and socially. I mean, not that anything to do with, like, super progressive, but, like, Dylan Carlson from Earth, basically Earth, you might have read this, Earth were, like, a legendary band, and a band that I love, at least, like, up until the Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull, refused to play a show at some, like, very, like, famously, like, politically, like, radical and progressive venue in Italy, or Portugal, or Italy, I don't remember, somewhere in Europe, because they had a Palestinian flag in the venue, and it's just like, okay, boomer. But also, like, he was really into guns. Like, he's probably best known by, like, the general culture as the guy who gave Kurt Cobain the gun that Kurt Cobain blew his brains out with. Anyway, just a really bad look for Dylan Carlson. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up and play the show. Like, but then, yeah. Anyway, point is, Simply Saucer, from what I've read, a very, like, underrated, little-known band outside of Canada. But even I hadn't heard of them. Yeah, this song, Bulletproof Nothing. I love the lyrics. Singer, yeah, he's just singing about how he wants this other person to treat him like shit, which I can, like, relate to. I have a song called Love Me Standard, that has a similar vibe. And there's a couple times that I love, and it's very sudden, where they just stop playing and then start again, and they do it twice. Twice in the song, like, I think like 4 times. So anyway, it's really cool. Check it out. Check out this album. Like, this is one of the less experimental tracks, but like the last. Where's the last one? Yeah, Illegal Bodies. It's like a 10-minute, really psychedelic track. There's a bunch of, like, weird synth sounds all around this. It's just super cool. After Illegal Bodies, there's some demos and then some live stuff. I haven't listened to the live stuff. The demos, I don't find that. I'm talking about, this is the reissue. The demos I did not find particularly interesting, but I'll check out the rest of them and the live stuff. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to stop talking right now. And it's 5:59 because the church bells are ringing. Just to dox myself. Later tonight, as we keep going down steadily, negative 12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 14 degrees Celsius, 7 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 17 degrees Celsius, that's at 9 p.m. 1 degree Fahrenheit, and then at 10 p.m., negative 19 degrees Celsius, negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit, getting sub-zero in the Fahrenheit. We are getting real cold here in Sherbrooke, and then the day leaving us off at negative 20 degrees Celsius, negative 3 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cold, but I'm going to stay inside, I'm going to stay warm. Oh, one last thing. I guess maybe I'll show you tomorrow, because I don't think anybody's gotten this far into the video. I want to show off my synthesizer, but I think I'll do that tomorrow, or whenever the next time I do a weather report is. All right, everyone, have a great week, and have a great night.